first rule of Watch Club is you talk about watches. The second rule of Watch Club is you talk about watches. Welcome back to this Hobby of Ours. I am your host D, and today I am with
Lawrence
and
John.
My two watch bros, still out in LA, obviously. Undisclosed location, of course, keeping it tactical. But just want to talk some watches today. What are you wearing, my man?
I am wearing the Hamilton khaki.
That's the white dial?
The white dial, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll pop up a picture. I didn't get the memo. I'm not wearing white dial today. I got my 40, my Fortis, and you're rocking?
Zelos Horizon Field Watch, 38 millimeters.
I'm going to get a close-up of it, and then I'll Photoshop that stuff in.
Yeah.
So wanted to get my buddies together, and it's always great to get other people's perspectives on watches because everyone and their journey is different, and it's just cool. I love talking, I love yapping about watches. So tell me a little bit about how you got into watches and what attracts you to them.
I've always loved watches just because I like something on my wrist.
Yep.
Aesthetically, they're nice. Just the dial, the colors of the faces.
Yeah.
Just recently, the automatic and mechanical watches is what drew me in.
I think you mentioned you were getting away from quartz.
I'm getting away from quartz. That's how I started. But yeah, them.
I think a lot of people kind of head that way.
Yeah, as we get older, we get a little more sophisticated.
So you ooze class and sophistication, totally. How did you get into it? Like, what's going on with you?
I think I've always also been interested in watches. It was, however, kind of on again, off again with having something on my wrist and getting reaccustomed to that feeling of having something on the wrist. So I tried the smartwatch route. I tried just like fashion watches, and that's what really kicked it off for me was the fashion watch because it looked really slick, but it was at the end of the day it was just garbage. It kind of fell apart. Right, it died, and it's a cheap quartz movement. And then
it can be.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of them are. And when I learned how much it actually costs to make one of those things and how much they're selling it for, I was like,
$1.50, like $1.50,
and it's marked up by 100%,
more,
100x, I think.
Yeah.
On average. So, when I found that out, I was like, hey, I don't want to support that. I want something that'll last me. So my first mechanical purchase was like the cheapest one I could find.
That was your Seiko 5 you mentioned?
My Seiko 5 SNK 80 something. It's the
Tan?
cream dial.
Cream
dial. It was $70 at the time, and it was incredible. I mean, not the most accurate, but it was just fun. It was
you can regulate them.
You can. Yeah, but I was too lazy. I was a baby coming into this, so as my first watch, that kicked it off, and then I started buying other things.
I'm gonna blow your mind hole. You may know, you may not know, but even the prestige brands that we know, the high-end stuff, Rolex, whatever, learned from watching Tim Osso's channel. The watch that is, let's say it's 10 grand, it only cost 5 to 15% to manufacture it. The rest is marketing and hype and whatnot. $500 for a 10 grand Rolex.
I'm not getting a Rolex.
Omega for life, that's what's up. Now, I would get one if I could get one. I had a
retail.
Absolutely, we never pay over retail. We always buy pre-owned, pre-enjoyed. I did do something funny in one of my ADs. I didn't have a watch on that day on purpose going in there. And I went in and was like, oh, excuse me, can you help me? I can't tell the time. Can you sell me a watch, please? And I don't know what time it is. I can't tell the time. Can you help me? It didn't work, but I got some laughs. And that is part of rapport building, so we had some fun. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to pepper you with some questions.
Sure.
First up, show him the finger. There's nothing on this finger. He's got one on that finger. He's going to have one on that finger. What does your missus and your fiance think about your watch addiction?
I have too many watches.
Is that what she says?
Yeah, I've got a watch box, and then I just kept purchasing. So now I just have next to the box watch, just watches laying around.
How do you feel about hiding it from your spouse?
I don't.
That's a trick question. That's a trick question. That's a good answer, though.
Nope,
That's a
nope,
good answer.
nope, nope.
That's a real good answer.
Yeah.
And you had a good point earlier when we were chatting about you have a reasonable threshold to begin with that is palatable to the family goal
Yes.
of doing whatever, right?
Yes.
That's wise.
Yeah, I guess my threshold would be like $400. Anything above that,
I remember those days.
Yeah.
It is funny how over time it's like there was a time when I got into watches seriously, I couldn't imagine spending $400 on a watch. I was like, no way, Jose. I'm like, $200 was too much. And then you just keep, but I have a threshold too that I can't impart a value to that kind of object. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm saying I personally can't imagine a $20,000 watch.
Yeah.
Just for me personally.
When it should cost $5,000.
Yeah, exactly. What is your favorite watch in your collection? Let's say a robber with a really weird behavior came into your house. I need to steal all your watches, but I'm gonna leave you one. I don't care which one it is, but you got to pick one. I'm like, this is a really strange robbery.
That he would leave?
Yeah, he's gonna leave you one because he's a robber, so he's clearly crazy. Number one, but number two,
It's the one I showed you Thursday last week.
okay.
My take of the 62 Moss.
Your 62 Moss mod.
Yes.
Can you bring that in again so I can snap a photo of it?
I could do it
And
tomorrow.
then I'm gonna pop it right up next to my coconut. And okay, that'd be rad.
Yeah.
That was a cool watch.
Yeah.
62 Moss is the new iterations. They've got like 3 special editions of it and then a regular Prospex edition. I'm gonna end up with one of them. The Beams version is the one I want, but it's rocking 7 Gs, and I'm not paying that for that particular watch. Weirdo robber came into your house. He's gonna leave you with one watch.
I think you guys probably already know the answer.
I think I do.
It is a Seiko.
Yes.
That's what.
It's not an ordinary one, though, is
it? It's a fun Seiko. It's very fun. It's
Which one?
It's on titanium.
Mm-hmm.
And
Getting warmer.
I think I have to leave it at that because in case somebody watches this.
Oh,
and
you
the
don't want to
robber
say?
actually shows up. But it is reminiscent of cold weather, and we'll just keep it. That's as far as I'll go.
There's no snow in California.
Yeah, there might be.
So we had
on my
to
watch.
augment that with a particular watch. I also have said watch, different generation. I haven't talked about it on the channel yet because there is a girl involved in that backstory. I don't know that I'm ready to share that. Be that as it may.
We'll edit that out too.
No, I just long stories. Some of these stories are long stories. Okay, next question. You won. We had a weird robber. Now we have a weirdo lottery. You won the lottery, but the lottery is from a watch store. You can pick any watch you want. Money doesn't matter. What if you could press a button and get a watch? Which watch would that be? It could be big, small, whatever.
I'm between two. If I had 2 choices, the Black Bay, Tudor Black Bay,
Okay.
and the 50 Fathom.
Which version of 50 Fathoms? Like old school, Blancpain?
Old school.
Like an original
Yes.
back in the day. Now that is a big swing. Because we can get you that Tudor today. We'll go shopping.
Nice.
I love to help buddies get great prices. This watch he's wearing today, he bought new at retail. I'm like, oh, bro.
Yeah.
Probably get you a deal on that. All right. Weirdo watch lotto.
That's hard.
All right, think on it.
I have an answer though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were still percolating. Go ahead.
It's the Rolex Explorer.
Which one? 1016?
I actually think
Birth year.
the newest version.
Oh,
Not
really?
the Explorer 2, but the newest
Yeah, yeah.
iteration of the Explorer.
Yep.
With
36
bloom
millimeter.
on the numerals.
Yeah.
Yeah. 36.
I've been documenting my chase of that watch, and I'm like all over the board, whether to get vintage, the 39, the new one. That taper on the new watch is really rather steep. It's like,
I love that though.
oh, you do?
I love a smaller or narrower
Tapered bracelet.
narrower bracelet. Yeah, like 20 to what I think 14, right? Or is it 16?
Well, it's 19 at the lug, which is another
Oh, is it
bugaboo.
19?
It's 19. I know, right?
Maybe I meant the generation before that. I don't think that one's.
Those ones, I think that's the 114 270. You can get good prices on those right now. I just realized I didn't answer the Robert question.
Oh right.
I'm torn between my Omega Seamaster 300 GMT, that's Brosnan era waved out GMT, which is my favorite watch, and the Seamaster Titanium I have that I was wearing during my mother's hospital stuff and eventual passing. I've gotten an affinity for that piece. You know how, I don't know if you guys have like a connection with a particular watch because it was with you on your wedding day or is with you here. I never had that before that watch.
Oh, okay.
So that was maybe I'll just take out my pew pew and take care of the robber. How about that? keep all my watches. Okay, so
Cheat answer.
yeah, a little bit. Okay, button click. I really like your Blancpain answer.
Thank you.
That was tight. I'm going to go similarly. I'm going Rolex Space Dweller, which is the 1016 they released only in Japan for like barely a year. It's basically a 1016, but it says Space Dweller on the dial, and it was released in companion with the astronauts that had gone over there.
That is a deep cut.
That is a deep cut. It's rocking 40 G's though, if you can find it. And the real challenge is with all the fake dials out there, how do you get it? This is it's like a John Mayer grade watch. He can get it from his people, but again, I can't wear that in the pool. But I won the Weirdo Watch Lotto, so I can get whatever watch I want.
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want, man. Or the Steve McQueen Hanhart 417, like his exact watch. Nobody knows where that's at. I think it's with his kid must have it, Chad McQueen.
No, that one's in my backyard actually.
Oh, it does? Okay, all right.
Yeah, so.
Love me some Hanhart watches. Love me some Hanhart watches. All right, so what we talked about smartphones or smart watches earlier. Yay or nay? You're nay. You're also no. I'm yes, but not as an only watch. I have an Apple Watch 3, and I wear it when I work out to measure my heart rate. And right now I'm not working out, so I don't wear it. So it does have about an inch of dust on it on my desk at home.
I mean, the thing that irks me is when people just absolutely rave about that device, or they have to get it.
Yeah.
And it's like
Hype.
it is hype because
Yeah.
the experience is always fleeting
Yeah.
and very disappointing once the hype dies down. I mean, it's functional, sure, but
Yeah.
if you're just using it for
it
exercise,
has a shelf life.
yeah, if you're
Yeah.
just using it for exercise, you might as well get a Fitbit for like way cheaper.
I did have a Fitbit, but I like to see the constant heart rate monitoring, and I had to cycle through the Fitbit to get to that screen, and I was
I think
irritated.
I think the wider ones you can keep it on there and it'll constantly monitor. But,
Yeah. Yeah,
technology, what is that?
I think I got it at a discount because I bought it used, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not keeping up with the modern generation. Plus, the battery life sucks. Fix the battery life. Fix the battery life. Yeah, they have a shelf life. I think, was it yours that had a battery? You had a Samsung, had a battery issue? It died on you?
Samsung, yeah. Had it for 3 years. Used it every day because it was a great watch. My wife gave it to me.
Yeah.
But then, no, it's not serviceable.
So,
Yeah.
dead technology. I want to thank my buddies for coming along on the ride. Bam. And also, never forget, the first rule of Watch Club is you talk about watches. The second rule of Watch Club is you talk about watches as often as you can. And thank you for doing some watch yapping with me, boys. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah.